I'm a sex worker, and I live in a world that either victimizes or vilifies me. I became a sex worker due to economical needs, and stayed in sex work because it was right for me. I'm a sex worker rights activist, and call many who identify as sex-positive feminists my friends. As a sex worker, I'm told many things. I'm told what I should feel about my experience within sex work, what I should feel about my clients. I'm told my experiences are not valid, that I'm blinded by false consciousness, and that my experiences are not representative of the majority of sex workers. All of that not coming from sex-positive feminists, but rather those you call anti-pornography feminists, also known as radical feminists. While I do recognize that my current situation within sex work, able to work indoors, is certainly privileged, that was not always the case. And moreover, I live in fear on a daily basis of violence and arrest. Because although sex for money in my country is not illegal, almost everything surrounding prostitution is, making it virtually impossible to work legally in the majority of this country. You bring up in your video what you say is the biggest and most shameful crime of the sex-positive movement. And I'll post on the screen now what you said. We don't know what is representative of sex workers in Canada. And I'm using Canada because that's where I am. We are not one type of person, no matter what those who speak for us want you to believe. And we don't know what is representative of sex workers because the majority of us remain in the shadows. Fear of arrest, stigma, violence, hatred, force many of us to remain silent and therefore not able to be polled on our thoughts and experiences and feelings. Also, you show a poster from a campaign out of Ireland called Turn Off the Blue Light. On the screen, I have some of what they posted on their website, including their campaign poster. They also go on to state that campaigns such as this and others, like the one Turn Off the Blue Light, was inspired by a primarily street-based sex worker assistance organization in Halifax called Stepping Stone, and sex-positive feminist organizations seek to debunk and bring forth the experiences and realities of those of us in sex work who may not have a voice. And that includes street-based sex workers who are often spoken about and not spoken to and asked, male sex workers, and transgendered sex workers. Not only that, but to try and lessen the stigma that is so pervasive towards those of us who work in the sex industry. Pivot is an amazing organization out of Vancouver. They're a legal society, and they've made a report called Beyond Decriminalization. They're also involved in a number of cases here in Canada to decriminalize sex work. Lots of very invaluable information is in that report, including interviews and quite in-depth discussions to and about street-based sex workers. A link is in the low bar. Within sex workers' experiences, speaking about and highlighting the tragedies is very important. As important as speaking about and highlighting the positives or neutral experiences of sex workers. Let's be clear, these campaigns and other sex workers' stories being shared don't come forth because of some sex-positive agenda to push sex work as some shining, happy rainbow land. They have come out of frustration, of anger, of truth-seeking from those of us in sex work who have had enough of being studied and spoken over, and the pervasive belief in this society that all sex workers are victims needing saving from our abusers and ourselves. The overwhelming view of sex workers in the media and in society as a whole paint us with the same brush. We are not all the same. And although the majority of us get into sex work out of economic need, we are deserving of having our voices heard, the negative, the positive, and neutral experiences that we might have. Also, you make this statement. Now, while I don't know where you get your hundreds of thousands figure, I do want to ask, who has said that erasing pimps would solve the problems? Sex worker activists and sex-positive feminists alike have certainly always maintained that the problems within sex work are not easily fixed, nor would they say they have the answer to all the problems that affect those of us within sex work. In fact, many hold that decriminalization of sex work, sex workers and our clients, link in the low bar to some information and videos about that, would begin us on the road to working towards safety, health, and respect for those within sex work. Certainly, this is a complex issue, which I think you, Heather, have done a huge disservice toward by trying to surmise a lot about my work and those who seek to assist me in a matter of seconds at the end of your video.